Hey everybody, Susan Leonardson here. I'm going to continue our membership 2.0 build. It was a few weeks ago, where I started to build out our Geek Out membership that we have in existence in ClickFunnels Classic. It's where we just built it. It's what we're using, but I'm running an experiment of seeing like, okay, well, if I were to create this in ClickFunnels 2.0, how far can I get before I can't do it? Now, just for context, our ClickFunnels Classic Geek Out membership area is very custom built. Dan Havey has written a lot of code that we've put in there, and I'm going to actually show you what that looks like. Let's do the screen over here. So you're going to see this is our Geek Out Academy membership area, and you can come create an account. You can just go to geekoutacademy.com, create a free account, and then you're in. If you're not in our academy, though, if you're not in our cornerstone or continuum levels, you will have things locked down for you. And we're still adding in more content. So you're going to find some stuff, but we still have to create more and get it in there. But this is what it looks like. This is what it looks like when you log in to the Classic membership area. We have like this dashboard, and then we're able to create. These are actually multiple areas, but it's all within the same membership area. So if you're familiar with ClickFunnels Classic, usually when you log in, it actually looks something like this, where you got your navigation on the side, and then you've got your course area over here, and you got your sections or modules, and you got your lessons. Like that's all that you see when you log in. Because of the custom code, ours looks like this, where we have this dashboard area. So when you click into one of these areas, it has the navigation on the side, and it has the ability, this is actually like one section, and it has the ability to, because of the code that Dan's created, we're able to add in kind of like these mock sections, and the lessons fit into here. So this is actually a library model that, depending on which category we assign a lesson, it will stick it into what we call, these over here are our categories. So some of these lessons might show up in more than one of these, but the lesson only exists once. And then we click over here, it takes us back over to the dashboard, where we have back to our access. So if you remember last time, we have our Create Continuity Challenge area. It's a very simple area. It acts more like a course, like a typical like content course area, where we just have like these 4 lessons. And so I was recreating as best as I could this area for where we keep our course in 2.0. So that's what this actually is. I didn't go and do like all the branding and everything. I wanted to make sure that functionally I could make it work, because what's happening is in here. So we've got like our 4 lessons. We've got our day 1. We have a day 1 VIP, day 2 VIP, and we have our video. And then we have these actions items here, where we walk people through like, okay, you've watched the video, now actually go take action, right? And we have their homework that they need to do and their actions we want them to take. So what I did was I created that area, right? So we have our lessons. I decided we don't have this right now. We probably should do this in our actual area. We just have day 1, then day 1 VIP, day 2, and day 2 VIP, all accessible, whether you're VIP or not, which is a little problematic, because in our VIP day 2 video, we pitch an offer that was like a very limited time, but now it's still in there, and people are like, well, I want that offer too. And then when we turn it evergreen, there isn't a way for us to like only give VIP to certain people and not people. So in the 2.0 version of this, what I did was broke them up into 2 different modules within 2.0. And what that looks like in the back end is, so I created, this is a course, my Create Continuity Challenge. I created it as a new course. And then when we come into this area, we have 2 modules, challenge replays and then the VIP replays. And then I have 2 lessons within each of those. So that's what it's looking like here in the back end. And that gives us this. And then if I had the videos loaded into 2.0, it would be showing up here. We'll go ahead and go into one of these. So you can see that there is a video element. I just don't have a video loaded, so it's not showing the element on the live page. And then the last thing that we had to figure out last time was like, okay, well, how do we make this happen? This action, hide and show action happen. That's really easy with just native elements. And that's the other thing is that I'm only using what ClickFunnels 2.0 gives us natively. I haven't used any code yet. So we did get it to work. It does have this like animation to it though, that makes it feel jumpy instead of smooth like this. It actually is looking like this because what I'm having to have it do is actually have this action 1. Let me see if we've got it loaded. We have action 1, this element, which is actually a button. I have it duplicated. And so what's happening is that when I click this, the action, what its action is to show 2 items and then hide itself. So the 2 items that it is showing is the duplicate version of this button. So that's why you see it jumping, because it's like hiding itself, but then a new one's appearing and it's having it show. The reason I have it doing that is because then this button's action is when I click it is to hide itself, have the other button reappear, and to also hide this area. So that's why it's feeling a little bit like that. It wouldn't be so bad if that animation didn't exist. If the animation of like the fading out, if it was just like an instantaneous thing, then the buttons would still be swapping places, but there wouldn't be an animation that's like delaying the action happening. So it would almost appear as if there's only 1 button and not 2 buttons. That is something that could be fixed with code, but we're not going to go there during this experiment. So this is what it is looking like because of that reason. The other alternative is that you just don't have a show and hide happening and you just always have it showing. And then it would just look like this all the time where they just kind of all show. So that would be the alternative. If you're like, I hate that animation and I don't know how to code it so it doesn't do that, then that would be the alternative. And that's not a bad alternative. So what we're going to do today is continue. So this was like the course that I wanted to see like, okay, can I do like a simple, if I was just coming in and building a course and I just need like a few things that I know that I like in there, can I do it? So we did it. So today what I would like to do is see what would it take to build a resource library where we have, and this might be a multi-day thing, where we have, we want to treat it more like a library and there's categories, and depending on, like people are more here to browse than to go through it step by step. So we're going to create a new area in our account, a new course, I should say. So I'm still in the same course. I'm going to back out of this. We're going to create a new course and let's do, I don't know that I want to do building in ClickFunnels. Maybe we have a lot in our Geek Design Fest. Nicole Coons on our team has been hard at work making a lot of training in this Geek Design Fest area. So you can see we have her different categories in here. She's got her different videos. And let's see if we can recreate this area. One of the tricks is, I don't know how we would accomplish this in 2.0, but in our classic account, one of the tricks we have to do is this area is accessible by all 3 levels of people that have access to this members area. So we have our free level, we have our level 1 continuity, and we have our level 2 continuity that all access all of the stuff in this one area. But some of it, like free, like some of it's in here that's free access. Some of it in here is free access and level 1. And then some of it in here is all 3 levels get to access it. So like our newsletter Nexus, that's our level 2. Actually, it's going to be our level 1 now. It's not accessible to free, but it's accessible to level 1. So we have to have some of it kind of behind this paywall. So it'd be interesting to see in this experiment of building it in 2.0 how we might be able to accomplish that. So first, I'm going to create a course, and we're just going to start blank. And this is going to be, we'll go ahead and do the Geek Design Fest area. Okay. And then I will grab a thumbnail. I think I'm just putting like dummy thumbnails on things right now because I don't have anything loaded. This is a workspace that we don't actually use. This is just for the experiment. Okay, so let's add some modules and some lessons because we don't care about how it looks right now. I'm just trying to make sure that it can function the way that I actually need it to function. So what we have happening is we have categories. So I'm going to add a module for each category and see where we get with that. So I know that backgrounds is one of our categories. And we have, I won't do all of them. Let's do 4 of them. Canva for funnel designs is one of them. We'll add a new module. Canva for funnel designs. Branding. And we'll do the newsletter Nexus because that's hitting on all 3 of our levels. Branding. Newsletter Nexus. Okay, so now I have 4. We're just going to add the 4 for now. And then each of those 4 are going to have some lessons. So the trick at this point is going to be, okay, if I'm adding a lesson, right now we have it coded so that in the back end, we can assign multiple categories to the lessons and they're automatically going to show into the categories that we need them to. That's not happening in 2.0 without code. What we would end up doing is probably just having to duplicate that lesson and put it into multiple modules. So let's see. I don't know that I have any that fall into that here. Oh, create your logo. So create your logo shows up in both Canva for funnel designs and in the branding. So we'll add that one right now. So we know that it has to go in Canva for funnel designs. We'll add a lesson for, what was it called? Create your logo. And I will just stick on, I'm just going to pick random images. They're not going to be anything special because this is all that I have loaded in this account right now, even though they have nothing to do with this, but we just need a visual to see like, okay, what are we looking at? Where is this pulling this information from? Okay, we'll create lesson. And let's add content to this lesson. So we'll go ahead and click in here, create your logo. So we have the video, we have an action, and we will use what we made last time. So the other piece that I made is a template so that I can just duplicate it, a template section, I should say. So when we're in this area here, when we're going to actually add content, the stuff that we add here, we're not like building out the entire area that they see when they click in a lesson. We're actually only focusing on the content that gets displayed at this point, like from my cursor. And if I made a box around this, just this here is all that was created in that content area. The breadcrumbs, the title, the mark lesson complete, and then everything else on this page around it is all part of the lesson template page. So right now I'm just adding like the content that's specific for the lesson, which is this bit. So when we're here, I have a section that I've already created that is a template, and I have it lesson action section. So I'm going to add this to it. And now I have like my template here that has my buttons that all function, so that if I want it to be doing this thing, as clunky as it is, I can. So now we're back to the editor. So this one is, we've got action, grab the logo template. So we'll put that on here. Oh, let's see. Oh yeah, so it's a button. So I have to edit what it says over here. Grab the logo template. Now part of this, because I have the buttons doing the show hide thing, is that I have to come into my layout and I have to unhide. Should be hidden. Why am I not seeing it though? There should be, no. I wonder if the template doesn't include hidden things when I save it. Show everything. Well, that's interesting. We're going to explore this, because what is happening, let me actually go back to, let's see, we can go back to this course and this lesson, and we'll just remind ourselves what we did here. If we go to layout, yeah, I'm not crazy. So there's hidden button, and then there's another, I've got a hidden row. So if I show this, that's what's hidden there. If I show this button, it's there. So what happened, actually, maybe I created that template before I fixed this. That's probably what's happening. I'm going to go ahead and this one wasn't functioning the way it should be. Let me see what I have missing. We've got 2 buttons, and then I think I needed to duplicate this one. And we'll hide it. And then I'm going to resave this. I forgot how I named it. Lesson action steps. That's probably why. Okay, so now we can go over to our other course. And our lesson. Okay, I'm going to delete this out and we'll see lesson steps. Keep going to my assets when I mean to go to layout. Okay, they are there. Okay, so I hadn't saved the section since I had made that change. Okay, so then what we're doing is we're going to grab this, grab the logo template. And because this is a button, it's going to edit over here in the settings. And then I need to unhide these other buttons, and I'll unhide the row and the row. I actually don't need a second action because it only has action 1. So I'm going to delete these. And then this text needs to change. And then down here, we've got this text. And we have a button, so I can delete this. And the button says use the Canva template with a cool little icon. We should be able to find that icon. So icon before, we'll enable that. And then we're going to click here. Let's type palette. Yep, there it is. Too many L's. Palette. And then I'm going to add another space. Oh, wait, there's a way to do that. We don't have to do that anymore. We can do margin, not margin left, margin right to add a little space between the icon and the words. And then this is actually not submitting a form. It's going to go to a link. So I would also click on the button and make sure that I have it going to the link that I need it to go to. And then the last step is going to be to rehide this and hide this second button and save it. So we should be seeing in our, when we preview the lesson, if we'd also have a video there, but that's not showing up here. That shows up in the lesson template, the lesson page template here. So this page is where the rest of this stuff is coming from. One thing I'm noticing is that our navigation is missing over here on the side. So we will see if we can figure out why that is. But you see I have a lesson element here. The area below the video is where this information that we were just editing is getting put. And then this is all dynamic. This is all dynamic. I don't know where this is probably part of the template. Yeah, we don't want that. I haven't edited the template page at all. Like this isn't how a template page should look for a lesson. This would, yeah, it's not how I would do it. We'll edit that on another day. Okay, but we need to figure out why. Oh, I think I know why. We've explored this before. This is what happened last time. We need to publish. So we're going to publish the module. Yes, publish it. Oh, no, publish now. I don't have any people. I don't have any students. And then we'll publish the lesson. Okay, and then now it should be showing up. Fingers crossed. There we go. Okay, so that is adding at one place, but because what we're trying to do is recreate a library and that lesson pops up in multiple categories. So we have it in the Canva for Funnel Designs category. I also need it in the branding category. Let's see what we can do about that. I'm not seeing an easy way so far to duplicate a lesson. Let's look in the settings. Don't see a duplicate. So that's going to be the, we found it. It exists. Okay, it's a little icon up at the top. We can preview, we can duplicate. So we're going to duplicate the lesson. It says it will appear in your course lessons when completed. Probably just need to wait a few seconds and then refresh, and it should show up somewhere. Let's see where it puts it. Okay, copy right there. Copy of create. Okay, so then we can probably just go to edit settings. Erase that copy. Now it is going to create a new path for every single one of these. So I'm curious as to why it didn't do that already. But we want to move it to, we want to move it into our branding. And then we will publish these. Publish that one. And now it should be showing up in both. Oh, I saw it pop up right there. It just takes a little bit for it to propagate. Okay, so now it's in, great. It's in the Canva for Funnel Designs. It's in the branding. Now the downside to it happening this way versus how we have it happening in Classic, where it is literally just one lesson and it's showing up in multiple places, is that in the back end, if we needed to edit this lesson, we only have to go to the one lesson and edit it, and it will show the new updated version in both places, no matter where I click. In 2.0, I'd have to go edit both of those lessons. I'd have to come into both of these if I wanted to edit them. So that's the downside so far. It would be cool to see maybe in the future they could add something to where maybe it could act as a categories type library area, because uh, I know that Russell talks about having in a continuity program, having the combination, same way that we do it, the combination of a library plus he calls it success path. But it's really, we call it sprint. It could be like a little mini course. It's like a guided uh, journey to take them through that gets them some sort of result. Plus, you're giving them a library of resources that they can access. If you give somebody in a continuity offer, a subscription offer, if you just hand them a library of resources, you're likely going to have a big churn problem, because people don't feel like it's worth it if they're not making progress. And it's hard to feel like you're making progress when you just have a library of resources and you don't know what to do with it. So that's why the combination is so important. So it would be, he does talk about having a library. So I know it's on his radar. And it will be interesting to see what features they might give us in the future that will help us to be able to do that. Now, when he talks about library, I don't know that he's talking about it in a way where like we have categories and we need this to show up in multiple categories. There's like multiple ways to do libraries, right? So maybe that's something that we'll have to play around with our own thing to put into 2.0 in the future. Okay, so we have accomplished knowing, like, we're going to just have to duplicate the lessons. One thing I want to explore right now is like a big part of our membership area is the dashboard. Oh, we forgot. We haven't looked at how to control access yet. So if I have this newsletter nexus is an easy one, because everything in the newsletter nexus, let's go ahead and add a lesson. How to set up your blog homepage. Everything in our newsletter nexus is our level 1 members and level 2. So level 1 and level 2 get access, but our free members in the members area don't get access to this. So that one's a little bit easy because it's everything in that category. So if we add a lesson, and we call it how to set up your blog homepage, and we go to that lesson, it's got one action. I'm not going to add the content to it. I'm just worried about access restrictions right now. So we can, let's publish it, but we can control access at the module level. So we can go to the module settings, as I thought we could. Let's expand. Okay, upgrade URL. So optionally add an upgrade URL if you're selling access to this part of the course separately. If provided, when someone who does not have access to this module attempts to visit its URL, they'll be redirected here. So I don't know. I'm not selling it separately, but it's part of an offer. So I'm going to take that to mean I could stick our URL to where they can go join our level 1 here. Let's put a real URL in there just to see how it actually handles this. Because how does it know if they have access to it or not? I haven't linked it to a product yet. That's what I was trying to find, is how do I link it? Like once someone goes and buys the product, how does it know to give them access? And I think we control that in the workflows. So let's keep adding our restrictions, stuff that we need. So that's at the module level. I'm curious about lesson level. I don't think we can control access. Okay, so what that means is that we could, okay, let's back up to one of these might have, let's say that we create your logo is available to everyone, no matter what level they are. But let's say that, let's add another lesson to branding. Let's say that this other lesson I'm about to add, create your YouTube channel banners, is only available to our level 1. So create lesson. So this is the problem that we would run into if we were recreating this membership area into 2.0, is that I want to be able to give, it's all in the same category of branding, but I want to be able to give my create your logo lesson to everyone, but I want my create your YouTube channel banners only to level 1. We can't do that. So I think the workaround is going to be utilizing the submodules. So let's see if the submodules allow us to control access. Because let's just for the sake of clarity on what we're doing, I'll add a submodule for free. And I will add a submodule for level 1. And so we would put, let's first see if we can control access. We can. Okay, we aren't controlling access on the free though. We're controlling access on our level 1. Okay. Okay, so if we would create your logo as part of our free, and then if we put actually in there we go. Now it's inside it. I don't know if you guys can see the gray lines. Before it wasn't in it, so it would look, see how it looks. It probably needs a second to propagate for it'll show. Yeah, it's got a lesson. We're on the lesson. Let's see. How would that show up? It would show as like inside of branding, it would have a lesson, and then it would, oh, I don't have it published. That's why. Publish both of these. There we go. So if I don't drop it inside of there and it's just below it, it's going to literally be lesson, submodule, lesson. And then I don't have any lessons inside this submodule, so there isn't anything in there. So if I want it in there, I need to make sure I put it inside of it. And that might be more tricky than, okay, we're not going on top of it. I'm just going to go in. Yeah. Okay. So I just went inward. I indented. Okay. And then we want create your YouTube channel to be in our level 1. Again, I need to just go in. Oh, that's not working as easy as it did before. There we go. Over and up. And then so that should look like just the modules showing. Okay, so we have the free and the level 1. So then I would be able to control access to the level 1. That'll work. It's not ideal to have those submodules to control the access. So, I mean, because when someone comes into our members area, they're going to just see what they see. They're going to see what they have access to. And if they don't have access to it, it's not going to show. And everything's all in one place. So when I click on branding, it's going to show me all of the lessons that I have access to that are in the branding category. I don't have to click anything else like I would over here of like, okay, well, if I'm level 1, that means I have access to free and level 1, which means like I'm now having to open these up, and what I have access to is now split up into different submodules. So now it's not like this nice like alphabetical list or however you have it organized. It's now in this like split up two different lists. So it's not ideal to do it that way. But if that's the only way that we have the ability to do it, then it would work. I wonder if there's any other way we could get around it. Because the splitting it up part, the only other thing I can think of, but I don't know if we can do it, is like the duplicates again. So if we would have the ability to be able to, like, once they upgrade to level 1, now they have access to all of the free content and the level 1 content, that if we had a duplicate of the create your logo lesson again, so now we have like a duplicate upon duplicate here. Let's come into here and we'll duplicate it again. Yep, got it. Okay, refresh. And we go, so this is now, I'm not going to rename it yet so I don't get confused, but we want it in it's also part of our level 1. And then like, so that if they upgrade to level 1, then the free section would just like hide, that this wouldn't even be here at all. And then everything that they have access to will just be here. And then you wouldn't have it named level 1. You just have it named like the level that they're at. I mean, they have to expand an extra thing, but at least the list isn't split up. That all hinges on if we have the ability to hide based on access. So like if they're a free level, they get access to this one. But if they purchase my subscription, if they purchase a product, then they lose access to this one, but they gain access to this one. Like that's what would have to be happening in the back end. I don't know if we can do that. I don't know what lock means. Blocker lesson. That's they have to like finish, like they have to go to a lesson previous before that one actually unlocks. I don't know that we have the ability to remove access. Okay, so this is the whole access thing I think it's handled within the workflows. So maybe let's go take a look at the workflows and see what our abilities are over there. I may not be able to actually do anything in the workflows until I set this up. Okay, so I'm going to remove my screen for a moment while I jump into a different workspace that's set up, and we'll get a practice workflow going. Oh, the only downside is that, hang on, let me just get this set up in the other one. I won't have the same course stuff if I don't do it in this practice workspace. So let me just add my information. And then we'll be able to access the workflows, and we can see how does it handle us giving and taking away access into different modules within the courses, within the workflows. And I actually don't know if it's possible. This is an exploration at this moment. All right, let me save. Please provide your address. Okay, I got my address in there. Let's see if it lets me go to workflows now. Okay, it does. I just needed to put in my address, and then it gives me the ability to come here. Okay, so this is going to be Geek Design Fest Access. We're going to name it. We're going to do a naming convention here. Access, Geek Design Fest. Okay. Create workflow. And then we need I know that there's an enroll. Let's see what options it gives us. Oh, I haven't published my course yet. Let's go do that real quick. Courses and publish. Okay. Now we'll jump over to marketing. Wasn't sure if I was going to show my address again. Okay. And now we will see enroll. Okay, so now I can give access to the entire thing. I can also open it up. And now here's our different levels. So the question is, if someone comes in to the members area, they should automatically have access to everything that I don't have locked. How do we give them access? I think that they still have to go through a workflow to get that access, though. Because the only way to unlock something is to enroll someone into it. So I think the workflow, like you'd have to set up an opt-in that they go through that sends them into a workflow. So let's set up this workflow for if they are just requesting free access. That means like let's pretend like the create continuity challenge I'm giving to them for at the free level, and I'm giving them the free level of branding, and I'm giving them the Canva for funnel designs, but I'm not giving them newsletter nexus, and I'm not giving them the level 1 content here. So we'll create that step. And then that'll be like a trigger. Let's say it's an opt-in. I don't think I can do this. I don't think I have any opt-ins created in this workspace, but the trigger would be an opt-in. I don't have a funnel, so it's not going to work. And then I'm hypothesizing. This is very untested. I will test it though. It'll have to be a different day, I think. My hypothesis is then you'd have another workflow. Let's create a new workflow. So this would be free access. And then this one we'll put like level 1, L1 access to Geek. And this isn't even Geek Design Fest. I would rename these. This would be L1 access to the entire Geek Out members area. Same with the other one. I'm not controlling access to just the one like course or library with these workflows. I'm controlling all of it. So then this one would be, we would enroll. This is totally going to work, you guys. I just saw how it's going to work. So they still are, so they would, now we would enroll them into they already have access to these, because assuming, and actually maybe we shouldn't assume that they already have free access. So now you're just going to check everything that they keep access to if they are free, and that they are gaining access to by upgrading. So then they're going to get, like, let's say they get everything now. So that's going to include level 1. But I don't want to give them access to the free because we're moving from free to level 1. So I want them to only have access to level 1, which is the way that I would build it, is it's going to include, like, I'm just duplicating, right? We just covered that. So if you just jumped in and you're like totally lost, it's because you missed part of what we did. You'll have to watch from the beginning. But then there's this unenroll, which is where we remove access. So remember, we got to remove the free so that they don't have, right? So that they don't have 2 of these things showing, that they only have the one that shows. So we need this one to disappear. So we're going to unenroll them from the free. and then whatever else, right? Whatever else is in there that you need to do that for. I think that will do it. We'll have to test it for sure, but I'll have to we'll probably have to recreate the situation in our actual workspace where we have, I don't know, can we do test orders without Payments AI set up? I don't think we can. So I think that I need to recreate this situation in our workspace where we actually have Payments AI connected and do an actual test. And then I'll come and I'll show it to you if it works or it doesn't work. But I think that's how you would do it. So recap is that if you're building a library area inside of your members area, and you need to control access based on if you're letting people come into your members area for free, they get access to certain stuff, but then they upgrade to your level 1 continuity, they're now gaining access to more stuff. But how do you display that information to them in a way that's going to make sense while still being able to control access? And so we're controlling access on a module level with this one. Everything in this module is given to level 1, but within our branding category, we have some stuff that's for both levels. And so we're controlling access with the sub modules. So, oh my gosh, it's getting real complex, but that's what we're here for. We're here to really test the limits of 2.0 and see, can it handle this? Because if it does, then that means that it's going to be just a powerhouse in what we're able to do with it. Okay, that's going to be it for me today. And I'm excited to go and test that. It's going to be really exciting if that all works the way that I think it's going to work. Okay. Next time, I think what's still untested. Let me share my screen again. We've added a course type situation. We've just now added a library type situation. That's all that we really have happening in here. That's the 2 experience models that we talk about. That's 2 out of the 6 is well, technically this is a challenge, but it's set up like a course. So maybe we explore the other experience models and see if there's any nuances to them of how we would build them if we were using code, and will that translate to 2.0? So that's what we're doing here. Okay, that's it for me. Thanks for going on that roller coaster ride. And we learned some things today, and I'm really excited about what we just did. So we'll see you guys next time. Take care.